Part 2. Artifact 1. The Ipuwer Papyrus, Egypt's Forgotten Warning. The land is in chaos. Fire has fallen from the sky. The poor have become rich, and the rich have become poor. These words were not written yesterday. They were written nearly 4,000 years ago. Long before airplanes, before factories, before modern weapons. And yet, they describe a world that feels terrifyingly modern. This is the Ipuwer Papyrus, one of the most disturbing ancient documents ever discovered. The discovery. In the 19th century, European archaeologists digging through Egypt expected to find monuments of glory, pharaohs, gods, victories. What they didn't expect was fear. The Ipuwer Papyrus was found among ancient Egyptian texts and later preserved in the Leiden Museum in the Netherlands. At first glance, it looked like poetry, but as scholars translated it line by line, they realized something was wrong. This wasn't praise. This wasn't history. This was a warning.
Who was Ipuwer? Ipuwer was not a king, not a warrior, not a god. He was a scribe. And scribes were the most dangerous people in ancient societies because they observed, they recorded, and sometimes they told the truth. Ipuwer's writing takes the form of a dialogue, a man speaking directly to authority, describing a civilization unraveling before his eyes. And what he describes is not slow decay, it is collapse.
The sky is on fire. One line from the papyrus has haunted historians for generations. The land is without light. Fire has fallen from the sky. Ancient Egypt had no concept of airplanes, no concept of missiles, no satellites. So what does fire from the sky mean? Some historians say it's metaphorical, chaos, disorder. Others are not so sure, because the text doesn't stop there.
A world turned upside down. Ipuwer describes a complete inversion of society. The poor man is full of joy. The rich man is in mourning. Gold and silver are fastened on the necks of servants. This wasn't revolution. This was collapse of social order. The systems that kept Egypt stable, hierarchy, wealth, authority, had broken. And when systems break, violence follows.
Lawlessness. The papyrus repeatedly mentions crime. Indeed, everywhere is full of thieves. The doorposts are destroyed. The cities are ruined. This is not exaggeration. This is a first-hand account of law disappearing. Police gone. Authority gone. Fear everywhere. History shows us something uncomfortable. When law disappears, civilization disappears with it.
Famine and starvation. Egypt survived thousands of years because of the Nile. When the Nile failed, everything failed. Ipuwer writes, "Grain has perished on every side. There is hunger everywhere." This wasn't a bad harvest. This was systemic failure. Food systems collapsed. Supply chains broke. People starved while others hoarded. Sound familiar? Disease. One of the most chilling sections mentions sickness. Pestilence is throughout the land. Blood is everywhere. In ancient times, disease spread silently. No microscopes, no medicine, and once it started, it couldn't be stopped. Egyptian priests believed disease was punishment. Ipuwer believed it was consequence.
Nature turns hostile. The papyrus doesn't just blame humans. It describes nature itself rebelling. The river is blood. Men shrink from tasting. Was this pollution? Algae blooms? Environmental collapse? We don't know. But we know one thing. When nature turns hostile,
no empire survives.
The real warning. Most people read the Ipuwer Papyrus and focus on destruction. They miss the real warning. Ipuwer wasn't predicting the future. He was saying, this happened because we ignored the signs. Egyptians believed Ma'at, balance, held the universe together. When greed replaced balance, when arrogance replaced wisdom, the universe responded.
Why no one listened? Ipuwer didn't whisper these warnings. He wrote them down. So why didn't Egypt change course? Because warning requires humility, and empires hate humility. Acknowledging Ipuwer meant admitting failure. So leaders did what leaders always do. They ignored the messenger. History's uncomfortable mirror. Look closely at Ipuwer's world. Social inequality, crime, disease, environmental disruption, distrust in authority. This is not ancient history. This is a pattern, and patterns repeat until they are broken. The most terrifying part of the Ipuwer Papyrus is not what it says. It's what it implies. That civilization does not collapse suddenly. It collapses while people are still arguing, still denying, still saying, this time is different. A message across time. Ipuwer didn't know us, but he knew humans, and he understood something we still refuse to accept. Technology changes. Human behavior doesn't. Ending transition. Retention hook. Egypt ignored the warning, and history moved on. But Egypt was not the last civilization to write such a message. Music darkens. Far across the ocean, another civilization warned humanity not about chaos, but about time itself.